All right, good morning and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am Omar Stennett, and we are so delighted to have you with us today. We have something very, very special in store for you. But as we usually do, we need to give you some information, right? We want you to know what is happening, what we are doing, and what you can do to support the movement and to support the work, right? So before we get into our show for today, we normally play our little intro video. So we're going to do that and send the link out so you can send it to your friends and all your relatives. So as we play the intro, remember to like, to share, and to subscribe. Here we go.
I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coach to coach representing. I mean, say this is right as representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy, 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 boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
All right, there you go. So if you have not yet, please go on, like, share, and subscribe. Listen, you have the link, so here's what you need to do. You need to send that out and let all your friends know that we're on. We have something special, very special for you. I have known or heard of this young lady long time ago when she was back here in Jamaica, but recently was able to make some contact with her. And so, yes, she's here with us today, and we're going to have a talk with her to find out, where it all started, where she's at right now, and what her plans are like, looking into the future. Just what are her plans and her desires for track and field. But I'm going to allow her to share all of that with you. And if you have for some reason forgotten her, you're certainly going to remember her when you hear from her today. So again, share the link, like, make a comment, and if you have questions for her as we go through, you can make those comments put those questions in the comment section, and we will have her answer as many of the questions as possible at the back end of our interview. Her name is Soyinne Gerynion, former Mount Alvernia. Yes, Mount Alvernia, all the way out there in Montego Bay, right in the center of the city, all girls school. She was a former sprinter there, did well, representing her school in track and field, and now she's overseas in university, still pursuing her dream of becoming a major global track star. So just giving her a few minutes to just set up and get ready, and then I will have her join us. If you have not heard, let me just give you a couple of news information out there. Our reggae girls, they lost by 4 goals to nil to the United States of America in a friendly international, and the men's team they lost their last game to Japan as well. But we don't want to get in the football stuff. I have Soyinne Gerynion. I'm very sure that I got her pronunciation wrong, but I'm going to add her to the stream now so she can do justice to her name. Um, Good morning. Listen, I won't even attempt to pronounce your first name again because
Mhm.
I've been trying so hard and I keep mispronouncing it, and I know people can be very particular about their name. So, good morning, Miss Gerynion.
Good
How are you
morning.
doing?
Good
All
morning.
right,
I'm good. So the pronunciation is Soyani.
Soyani.
Yes.
Soyani Gerynion. All
Yes.
right. So welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm very sure that all your cousins and your mother and brothers and friends and everybody um in Montego Bay is probably watching now or getting ready to what they're drinking their cup of coffee, eating their plantain and toast bread right now with some butter in the middle. Um, but is there anything you want to start out by saying, just before I ask you any question about you personally, how are you doing? How are you feeling this morning? Is this your normal wake up time, or are you still a little sleepy and we got you out of bed too early?
Um. No, actually, I get up like around 6 every morning because I have work. Like today is my day off. Um. I'm feeling good. Um. I've been good. I just got back from school. Um. Just been working. Um. And taking my time off, resting until I start practicing again, getting ready for like summer practice and getting ready for the next season.
Okay, okay. All right. So, why don't you tell the people a little bit, because some people they may not remember you. Tell them like where did it all start for you? Like when did you start track and field? What school were you? Where in Jamaica are you from? Because someone hear this name may think, is she really from Jamaica? That don't sound like a Jamaican name. So why don't you tell them a little bit about where you started or where it all started for you?
Okay, so my nationality isn't Jamaican. I am American, but I grew up in Jamaica where I attended school. Um, so it all started, I want to say, when I was in the first grade. I was living in St. Anne, and you have sports day at school and stuff like that. So that's where I really started running, but it didn't get serious. Like I wasn't really put on the map until I moved to St. James, Montego Bay, and I was attending Hemingway Prep. um, when I was in the sixth grade, I went to Prep Champs where I placed third in the 200-meter finals. I think that's where I was really put on the map. That's when eyes started to fall on me. Um, a lot of big high schools, they were looking at me. Um, so from then, I did the GSAT where I passed to go to Herbert Morrison, but because of track, I chose Mount Alvernia. Um, since then, I had a good first year, class four, but then the inevitable injuries came along, and that kind of slowed down things where I wasn't able to compete in the 100-meter finals for the class four. Um, however, I mean, I still did good. I was disqualified in the 200 meter because I stepped on the line more than once. Um, but then after that, class three was pretty decent. I ran with top girls. I made finals for almost every year that I went to champs. I made the finals, um, and I was placed. I want to say in the 200 meters, I was placed. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. I
Okay.
want to say probably like sixth. Where I competed against Kevona Davis, you know, those top athletes. That's who I
Yeah.
competed with. Um, um, then after that, I want to say class two was where my injury came back. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I was only able to compete, you know, up to Western champs, which I did well in as well. And then from then I had to stop because the injury was just there and it wasn't going away. So I, you know, I put track and field to a side for a bit, and I came to the U.S. where I completed my high school year.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to say my last year of high school in the U.S. track and field was I was running, but I wasn't really getting the right training, so therefore I wasn't really out there again. So I just kind of died down a bit. Um, but then it resparked again when I got a offer to go to Indiana Tech, um, and that's when everything just went left
Okay.
in a good way.
In a good way.
Yes.
Also, let's say it went right.
Okay, yes, it went right.
it went it went right in a good way. All right. So you're still at Indiana. This is your what year are you in?
So
No, is it
I just completed my freshman year.
freshman year? Okay.
Yeah.
And what was that like? I mean, how did you do? Are you still doing the 100 meters, the 200 meters? Did you stick to one event? What was, how are your times, and how have you recovered fully from the injuries that plagued you during your high school years?
Yeah, so I've always been a fast sprinter. So I've always competed in the 100 and the 200 meter. You know, in the US we have indoor seasons, so they don't
Right,
have a 100 meter. It's a 60-meter dash. But
right.
I did the 60-meter dash and I did the 200 meters. Um, Indoor, it was kind of an adjustment, which was kind of hard to adjust to, mainly because you know running track in Jamaica, we don't have an indoor facility,
Right.
so it you know the curves are tighter. It's just different. So I didn't really I did good to me, but compared to what I don't really know how to put this, but basically my indoor season wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Even though
Okay.
I made it to the national championships in both the 2 and the 60-meter dash, and I placed sixth in both events in the finals. Um,
Okay. And that's indoor. Normally, I know, like, in these early stages, persons are more concerned not about the position that they place in the race,
uh-huh,
but the time that you're doing, because the time kind of show whether or not you're progressing.
or
Um,
not? Okay.
I mean, right. So based on your time, do you think, seeing where you're coming from, that your final year in high school was a struggle? Now you're at a college, you're running. Are you improving? I mean, would you say that I'm seeing improvement? I'm not where I want to be, but I'm certainly progressing when I look at the time. And yeah,
Okay, so yes, I am really improving in my times. They're dropping little by little. Um, in the 60-meter dash indoor season, my times went down. Unless I want to say I had like two bad races for that year, but despite that, the rest of the races, my times went down up until even the nationals where I ran a personal best in the final. Um, as far as the 200-meter, I was kind of just stagnant at a time. Um, but you know, I can't I can't really blame myself because it was a hard adjustment. But however, coming outdoor, which is my element, that really showed me, you know, like don't worry about indoor. Outdoor is where it's at. It was hard breaking 24 seconds, even in Jamaica, because I've been running 24 seconds. When I came back to the US, it went to 25. But then, however, being at Indiana Tech, like my times just kept falling. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
basically.
so your outdoor season was a whole lot better, right? And you
Yes.
did the 100, you did the 100 and the 200 in the outdoors, or just the 200
I did both. I did the one and the two.
and the two. All right. Well, so what were your times like in the 200? What was your best time for your outdoor season in the 200, and the best time for the 100 in the outdoor season?
So the best time in the 100 was 11:05, and in the 200 it was 23:08.
That's that's good. I mean, by next season, I mean, if you bring those down by a second, you could be here at the national championship looking to represent Jamaica, probably at the Commonwealth Games and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah. hmm
have you thought about that?
Um, Before, no, but you know, progressing so much in a little bit of time only opens my eyes up to know that I can do so much more if I'm given the time. So now that I ran 23, and it's been hard trying to break 24, like I said, and I did it. Like I did it, and I wasn't even at my best. Saying like right before the nationals, I had COVID. I caught COVID, so I was out. I couldn't practice with the team 2 weeks leading up to nationals. I was just in my dorm, just sitting down, waiting until my quarantine was up. And literally I didn't get to ride the bus with them to Alabama, but my coach, he got me a ticket and I flew there, and literally the day after I had to compete. So, I was still having a little bit of symptoms like shortness of breath, fatigue.
Whoa,
So I'm just saying, had I not caught COVID, I could have
yeah,
done so much better.
whoa.
Um,
Whoa. I mean,
yeah.
I think sometimes people see or they don't see athletes and they think like people are not working hard enough, and that is why, and they probably don't see the rapid progression in terms of your time going down, and they think like maybe they're not good enough, not knowing the backstory. Like
Mhm.
just hearing that you had to go through the challenge of dealing with COVID, recovering from injuries, adjusting to a college, having had a not so good final year in high school, and all of that to be doing this kind of time. I agree with you that maybe if none of these challenges were there, the progression would have been a whole lot better. But the good thing is that you're still doing it, you're still working hard, and you know, sometimes it is the challenges in life that makes the journey a little bit sweeter, right? And when you get to the final destination, you look back at all the hurdles that you had to go over, the mountains you had to climb over, the valleys you had to go through, and it makes the whole journey so worthwhile. So I'm glad that people are getting to hear that it's not that
Mhm.
you can't go faster. It's just that there have been challenges, and the adjustment has not been um, as easy as some other athletes may have had it. All right, cool.
Yep.
So yeah, so tell me, I mean, how soon you think like, you know what? Give me a next year. Give me after the Olympics. And I know that I will be at these trials representing Jamaica. Um, with Shelley and Fraser Price. All the athletes. I know you probably follow the news. You have an ex student from Mount Alvernia who has also progressed, Kemba Nelson. I mean,
Mhm.
how like her story and the story of others um, inspired you to know that, man, if I keep working hard, you know, the next name that they'll be singing is Soyinne Gerynion.
Okay, so like you mentioned, Kimba Nelson, we practiced. That was my practice buddy, my training buddy. We were in every.
You sure you want to call an ex-female your buddy? I just
Okay.
I don't
Um,
know if there's a female there, of body, but so maybe let's stick to body. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So okay, I'm gonna say partner. She was my training partner. We was in every rep together, on every hill together. Um, so just seeing her progress. I mean, she is older than I am, and when she left high school, she was doing good, but not as how she's doing right now. And I'm just really thinking like it's just time and patience and just believing in yourself. So I think I've spoken to her quite a few times, just congratulating her on her achievements, and she encourages me to like don't give up and stuff like that. So just that I'm getting that from her because she didn't give up and she just waited on her time. That's exactly what I'm doing. I mean, I'm still young and I'm seeing myself getting better. So just because of that, like I'm not gonna give up. Answering your question on, how much time do I think, I can put myself, I see myself out there like maybe the trials. Um, I spoke to my coach and um he told me basically it's a few things that I need to work on myself. Like I need more muscle. If you see me like in person, I am really thin. um the weight room is not my favorite, so I'm kind of scared of the weight room. But I spoke with him. He told me like I really need to be in the weight room. I need that, that muscle, so to produce the power coming out of the blocks, because I feel as though that's my weakest part of a race. It is the blocks, like pushing out of the blocks. My strides are a bit long, so when you're supposed to push out of the blocks and have quick feet, low quick feet, like mine's are not, as quick. Maybe one of my stride is a next person, like two of their
Two, right, right.
right. So I just feel as though it's a few things that I need to work on. Also my form, my technique, running.
Sprinting technique, right?
Yeah.
Running style. Yeah.
I kind of have a slight lean over when I'm running, and leaning over, you're not gonna get enough knee lift. So it's just a few things that I need to tweak, and my coach said that he's gonna work with me on those this season coming up. Um,
Awesome.
so I just feel as though if I correct those, maybe next year, like.
Next year. Awesome. Looking forward to that. Listen, but I have one solution, right?
Mhm.
I for the muscles and stuff. I see you have a couple of your probably your relatives here. You need to ask them to send you some good old Jamaican food, right? Maybe maybe that will help. Maybe you
I
need
know.
some Jamaican bananas and some some dumpling, some yam and all of those things. Maybe those things will,
Okay, so
yeah.
when I am at school, I'm limited to what they provide or what is around me. So obviously I won't have, grown provision and, you know, those Jamaican foods. But when I am at home in Maryland, I live with my grandmother. We're all Jamaican, so I get that type of food when I am here. But when I
Oh,
go to school, I don't have it.
okay.
Mm.
Okay, so you need to do like the Jamaican man. You need to pack your suitcase with all of that from your grandmother's house and bring it there and get a big deep freeze and store them in it. But that's good. Yeah, that's listen. And then you have persons who are just late bloomers in terms of their track and field career. And I mean, like you said, you're still young. You're still in your early 20s, and that gives you um
I'm actually 19.
there 19. Oh, there you go. And so you have a lot of time. And then I think the fact that people are transitioning out of the sport as well. You have like Veronica Campbell Brown, who is transitioning out, and the Karen Stewart, the Shelley and Fraser Price. This is her like final Olympics. So you have a few cycles that you have to be a part of this Jamaican team. And like it may not be the Olympic trials at first, but it could be for the Commonwealth Games, couple of the smaller championships. But if you keep putting in the work, I mean, it will happen, you know. But the struggles are good because it makes the story more enjoyable at the end. But one of the things I want to ask you is how do you balance, you know, just school training, and I heard you said work. How are you able to to balance that? Especially because you're an athlete, how does that affect, or how does that help in terms of schooling, or how does work affect your ability to train, or it doesn't? How do you balance all three um, things in your life right now?
Okay. As far as work, I am self-employed, so I can pick my own schedule, and
Okay.
I can be flexible as possible. Um, School work and track, I'm kind of easy at juggling two things at one time. And not even just two, but many things at one time. So doing school and track, it doesn't really affect me at all. Like this season, I made teams list and I performed well. So I don't think it's, I don't know. Um,
Okay, so it doesn't affect you. That's cool. That's good. All right. So if not track and field, like if if not track and field, like what would you be pursuing? What would you be doing? I mean, say you decide, you know what, I want to just stop this track and field thing. What would you be pursuing? Or what? Yeah.
I'm currently majoring in criminology. I want to be a detective, but you have to work your way up. So I would have to first be a service cop. So if not track and field, I, I would be,
A police officer?
what did you say?
A police officer?
Yes, in law enforcement. That's what I
It's
want to do.
okay, that's interesting. Any particular reason why you like that field of work?
Um, just solving puzzles. I don't even know. I just feel as though like if you look on my Netflix streams, you would only see things related to detective shows or like missing people. I'm really a fond of those type of things. So yep,
Yeah.
that's what I would want to do.
All right. Who inspires you? Like, in the track and field arena, who are some of the persons that you look at and pull inspiration from in terms of your own track and field career?
Um, One person who I'm not sure if you're familiar with her, but her name is Daphne. Do you know her?
Daphne Skeffers?
Yes. Um,
Really? You need to tell Jamaica why, because that's what they're going to all ask. They say, how can she call this Kevin? What about Elaine? What about Shelly? What about VCB? What about? So you have to explain this to Jamaica now. So the floor is yours. Go ahead.
um, I her determination. She doesn't always have the best season, but she still goes. Her running style as well. Um, just I don't even know how to put it, but basically, I love the way how she runs. I love her determination. Like even when she doesn't do well, she still, congratulates herself. She still um she doesn't blame any she doesn't have any excuses. She's a go-getter. Like she's very determined, and I think that's what really um pulls me towards her.
All right. Well, all I'm saying is that I'm going to give you one more opportunity to to make Jamaica feel good, right? So Daphne Skeffers is number one. Is there anyone else at number two that you could say, you know what, this other person, I really admire them either for their hard work, their printing style, their determination. Anybody else?
Okay, so I would say Shelly.
There you go, finally. All right.
I,
But why? Why she? How does she inspire you?
Her determination as well. And her not giving up. She had a baby. Everyone
Yeah.
was telling about her saying that, she's not going to get any better. She's been running, I want to, 10 sevens. They basically,
10.63, the second fastest woman of all time.
yes, I know. But before that,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
we're saying she wasn't going to break that. They saying that she was just going to stay right there, especially that she had the baby. Like, a lot of people doubted her. But, her basically not taking up what they said, on her head and stuff like that. She did what she had to do, and she ran the 10.6. So that's she's determined. I'm all about determination and positivity. Not listening to what other people say, and do what you have to do. So she would be my number 2.
All right, awesome. What is your mantra? What is that one statement that that you have over your life? Like, this is it, this is what this is a banner over my life. This is what keeps me motivated. This is a statement that is etched in my mind and in my heart, and it keeps me balanced. It keeps me grounded. When I feel like giving up, I recall this statement. When I feel like it won't happen, I recall this statement. What is that one statement? You can call it a motto or your mantra, or just that one phrase that keeps you going.
It's kind of vague, but whenever I'm in doubt, or I feel like giving up, to say, I just say it's God's plan, it's not mine.
Yeah, that's good. There you go. It always is. It's always is. And we have to celebrate the moments. And so I want to encourage you to take it, like I said, one day at a time. I mean, I always tell people that we are not here to try to compete with others. We just need to run our own race.
Yeah.
And some persons, when you see someone ahead of you, it's not because you're going faster than you.
Yeah.
They may have started 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
And that's it. And as long as we finish well.
I used to, like, other people times used to discourage me a little bit, but now that I'm getting older and I'm starting to have more knowledge about the sport, I don't let it get to me anymore. So if a 19-year-old is running a faster time than me, I don't let it get to me. I know what I am capable of doing, so I just go with the flow, basically. God's.
Yeah. 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 And that's it. You just do that, man. You just focus on you. Focus on what is set before you. You can't be anybody else. The best person you can be is you. All right, and you have to make you proud before making mother, father, whomever is proud. When you finish that race, you must be able to look at yourself and say, I gave it my all, I gave it my best, and that is the satisfaction. And no matter whether I get a medal or not, personally, I have just won.
Yes.
Because I gave it my all. And that's something you have to have guide you, and don't be distracted. I do believe though that you can get there. The fact that your time has come down so far with all the challenges you have had, like sometimes life just gives us a break, and I think your break is this season,
Yeah.
meaning not this new season. As you transition into your sophomore year,
Yes.
it is like this is like your season, and the times are going to get better, the form is going to improve, the muscles are going to be developed. Don't know if you'll start loving the weight room, but whatever else needs to happen for you to have that power coming out of the blocks, it's going to happen. So keep digging in, keep working hard, and don't give up, right? Is there anything that you'd say to probably some young athlete, maybe, you know, someone out there who they're having injury issue in their early stages of their career, just like you had, and they feel like, man, I really want to do this, but I keep getting injured. Maybe I should just give up. How would you inspire that person to just keep going and not give up? What would you say to that 14-year-old, that 13-year-old, that 15-year-old who is struggling with giving up on track and field or some other sporting discipline because it looks like it's not going to work in this early stage?
Um, what I would say is basically don't give up. I mean, you know your body. You know, no one else knows your body like how you know your body. If it comes to a point where you feel as though like this injury isn't going away, try to find some other way of recovery. You know, a personal trainer or a physical therapist. There's a lot of things that can help you, but don't give up. It's there, and if it's not, then maybe God has another plan for you. Um, but just don't give up. That's my main thing of saying, like, just don't give up, be determined. I know it can be discouraging at times when you have a meet coming up, or and then you just have this injury nagging, but don't let it get to you. There are other things that you can do to help you. With me, like, I had a nagging hamstring injury, um and it felt as if it wasn't going to go away. And another thing is your mind plays a big part in injuries. Try not to think so much about it. Try to think positive going into a race, and you should be fine.
Yeah. People, there you have it now, Sione. You have all your friends watching, and they haven't heard you say one thing, like, in a little Jamaican patois. I know all your Americans know exactly what you just said, but some of your people out west, want to hear you big them up, sounding Jamaican. I don't know how easy that is for you, but let's see how well you can do it. I'll tell you if you pass when you're finished. So so
Oh Lord.
who in Jamaica you want to big up, just go ahead and do that, and then yeah.
Okay. Basically, my one big up all of my family them with up on the video. Um, my coach, Mr. Henry, if he's here, I'm not sure, but big him up as well. My cousin them, my mother, I know she's in tune right now. So yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, people, you tell me. Um, did she sound Jamaican enough? Or we need to send her one of those book that has, how to speak Jamaican or how to speak Patois? Do we need to send her that to refresh her memory? Or maybe we need to keep her in this place where she speaks the Queen's language or proper English? But I see a Michael Lynch, he's laughing. So he's laughing out loud. So I suspect that you didn't do so. You didn't do so well, but
I think
uh,
I do better when I'm not put on the spot.
okay, all right, all right, all right. So there you have it, people. Sione Gerynion. Listen, look out for her. Like I said, the stories that sometimes inspire people the most is when people have to go through hurdles, difficulties, and trials to make it where they are. And you have seen it, you have heard how she struggled with injuries. She's finally um, coming into her own now, recovering well, working on some okay, someone is asking, is your school NAIA?
Yes,
Yes. Yeah. All right.
yes.
So please, right. You know what? Let me just let you explain, because people are wondering how they didn't see you in the NCAA outdoor championship. So explain that to them. What is the difference between, and then we'll put a wrap on it.
Okay. So NCAA is more of a bigger division. You have D1 schools, which
Right.
are the bigger schools like Oregon, Texas,
Florida.
Those,
Tennessee.
yeah, those bigger schools versus the NAIA, which is not as big as the NCAA. So that's the division that I run in. There are, I want to say, they differ in how can I put this, rules. Certain things that you do in the NAIA you can't do in the NCAA and vice versa. Also, I want to say, as far as like it being put out there, obviously NAIA is not really, like the NCAA was live streamed. The NAIA is not live streamed. I just it's just, people would say that the NCAA is bigger and more competitive as far as sports, all types of, not just track, but also football.
Yeah.
Uh,
Basketball. Yeah. 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 You see that comment? So yeah, Joseph Gray said, your pot will turn up, and then Gene Sutherland is saying that you should step up to D1 or D2, more competition. Hey, listen, you have to shine where you are, make it big, make your division big. I always tell people
that's
you have to do what you can where you are,
yeah.
right? You excel there, you never know what will happen.
That's that's exactly what, just exactly what you just said. That's how I believe, because like after doing well in at nationals, a lot of people want me to go D1 or D2 to have more competition, but I mean, I am having competition in the division that I am because I didn't win my race. So
Yeah.
I feel as though if I'm shining here, if I'm shining here, then I should stay. You get what I'm saying? I feel as though like going to D1 um D1 school, competing in the D1 division, I feel as though I'm gonna be running with girls, who are running 22. It can make me better, but at the same time, I see a kind of discouragement coming along
Yeah.
because like you understand what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah. And it's progression. Again, listen. It's like our school, our track and field in our country, in Jamaica here at the high school level. Sometimes you're at say one of the non-traditional schools,
mm,
right? And the issue is, because you're at a non-traditional school, that coach has more time to work with you because it's not a big track program. You move to one of the more traditional schools, they have so many good athletes, the attention is divided or scattered, and you don't get that focus attention, that dedication to develop you personally. So sometimes being in the space that you are helps you in terms of because there's more time dedicated to the small aspects of you understand what I mean? And then when that time comes for you to move, it will happen. I mean, because the script, God, all the plan is that the Lord has for you, the scripture says, plan to prosper, give you a good future. And if God is leading you, you just know that you have to shine where you are,
mm,
do what you can where you are until you get to your next destination. Don't live in your next destination when you're in your present destination. Just live right here, do what you're doing here, and then when it happens, it happens. and
right,
and, and we perform there as well. Yeah.
right.
But I know it's your day off, and I mean we're supposed to do 30 minutes, but we are way past time, and I know it's your day off. You need to get some rest so you can get back to your work. But is your business something that people here in Jamaica can support you? I don't know if you want to plug that, or it is something dedicated to where you are.
I do hair, so
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
I can't stay from the US and do people here in Jamaica.
all
So
right. But if you're in Maryland, so
yeah.
if you're in the Maryland area, you need someone to give you some good Jamaican hairstyle. She only has the scoop, right? And she's not very expensive. It will just cost you a pretty penny. You understand? All right. But thank you so much for your time. I hope that when you win the national championships a few seasons from now, then we'll be able to show this video and talk again.
Mm.
All the best to you. As you know, I am a pastor, so I will be praying
Thank
for you that you stay healthy and strong. I encourage you to be focused and just focus on your own personal career. Don't compare with anyone else,
you. Mhm.
you know. And you must know that I did my best, and that's personal success.
Yes.
It's not in comparison to
Real.
anyone else. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So thanks to you, thanks to all the persons who watched, who shared, who made a comment. Thank you so much for joining. Remember, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and you can, maybe you can take this video, play it to your child, and let them be inspired by Sayoni's journey and just how she has progressed in spite of all the difficulties she has endured. Thank you again so much. And what they're asking for your IG.
It's just my name.
Oh, it's just her name, right? So her name, let me spell it for you because I mean it was a hard thing finding her name. It's S. Why don't you spell your name? So unless I spell it wrong.
It's Soyinne. So when you go on Instagram, you can just type in that and then you'll see me.
All right, there we go. All right, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again. And to all the persons that are watching this video, thank you so much, and have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. Can you tell her, Punky love? She's seen it, you know.
I love
All
that.
right. Yeah. All right. There you go. There you go, Allison. All right, but she sees the comments, so she knows that Punky loves you. All right, all right. Respect everyone. I am sure. Sports is out.